Exactly. And this is, let me get on my pedestal for a minute because I'm sick. I'm sick and tired of Bills fans being afraid of the Patriots. Stop it. Bill Belichick is not a god. Tom Brady is long gone. We got that monkey off our back in game 1 against the Patriots last year. It was scary. It came down to a last-minute play. But guess what? We came out on top, and we realized that the bully is dead, that they are gone, that they are nothing to be afraid of anymore. Because guess what happened the next game we played them? We whooped their freaking butts. Yep. And yes, this team isn't the same team as last year. Good, because now they have a rookie quarterback, and now they're playing this Bills defense that's not the same as last year. Stop being afraid. Be logical, people. Stop it. All the nonsense I'm hearing from people on Cover One, from people on Twitter, from Bills fans, from media people. Stop it. The Bills are the better team every single way you look at it. Period. Full stop. End of story. There is no way anybody should be picking the Patriots to win this game. So what? They're the hottest team in football. So what? They come in. We understand the circumstances. We're educated on this team. No Star, no Tremaine Edmonds. They're all coming back. No Spencer Brown. He's coming back. Now tell me any logical way that somebody would pick the New England Patriots over the Buffalo Bills at home other than I'm afraid of the New England Patriots, because there isn't. There's no excuse for it. I'm sick of it. It's over. It's done. It's dead. Stop picking the Patriots. When we win by 30 in both of these games, all of you are going to look silly. And I'm telling you right now that that's what's going to happen. The Bills are going to dominate this Patriots team because they are better than them in every way, shape, and form. That is it. End of story. The team is good. The team is better. There is nothing the Patriots can do to become better than this Buffalo Bills team. Go Bills. We are going to beat them. Stop being afraid. Stop it, because you sound crazy. Be logical. Look at the roster. Look at the position. We just went through it. The Bills are better on defense. The Bills are better on offense. That's it. We are going to win this game.
My boy said, "I'm finished," and then he went on for another minute.
Sounds about right.
End of story. But let me tell you another one.
End of story.
Yeah, well, when there's not 80-mile-an-hour winds and we don't make stupid decisions and play calls and try to play, conservatively, this is what happens, because what I said in that video is 100% true. We are the better team, and we proved it. And it's good to be back on top.
Well, hold that thought. hold, save it, because we're going to get into all that. So welcome everybody to the Hoof Podcast, live on the Cover One Network. We are live. I'm in the Eastern time zone, okay? So I'm not in the mountain stratosphere of time, okay? So for those of you wondering, this is not my normal setup. This is the pick up and go setup. I am in Michigan, okay? And for the whole week, I took the week off of work. Well, I'm going to do some work tomorrow, but I got my son with me, and we're going to go see the University of Michigan and watch the game in Ann Arbor on Friday on New Year's Eve, and it's going to be awesome. Don't come at me with no Georgia stuff. Listen, I don't care. I'm just happy Michigan's in the college football playoff, and they could win the game. We don't know. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the Wolverines. As y'all see, I'm repping the squad. And Spin, you keep asking about what the 5 minutes are for. It's because sometimes I got to take a shit, okay? All right, get off of me. Okay, so with that being said, thank you for spending your afternoon, your evening, or whatever you want to call it, your nightcap. It's 9 o'clock here. I'm tired with us, and we really appreciate it. Why don't we go ahead and say our, we're going to pay the bills to Underdog Fantasy. This is the best place to play fantasy sports. You can do your little, if you want to win some extra money. Now, look, Christmas is over. Maybe you told your girl, you said, hey, I'm going to get you later. It just didn't get here. You use the supply chain excuse. Oh, it's going to be in the mail. And it didn't come because you didn't work because you didn't have any money. Well, what you could do is you can download Underdog Fantasy. And if you use the promo code Cover1, they will match up to $10. That's free, $10 free for you. Not one, not two, not five, not seven, but $10. So go to Underdog Fantasy, use the promo code cover one, and we're back in action. So, as you guys know, I like to give my shout outs to the people in here, to my people. Oh, this is my guy Azor. Hi, he says, yo, what up, Hoof boys? How about them Bills? Absolutely. Yo. Don Keith is in here. Girl being here early, boy. She don't miss a beat.
Ready to go. Bringing the energy.
My girl don't miss a beat. What's up, Don? How you doing? Reptile, what's good? Reptile? Roman, that's the homie right there, Roman. Yes, sir. Randy Hartman, y'all know that's my son right there. Randy Hartman is my son. He said, what are you yelling about already? Anthony being here ranting. You know what's funny though, Randy? That's Anthony in real life. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Bills, if it's a grilled cheese sandwich. My boys, that's how he talks. Y'all know he's a professor, right? Y'all should catch him in action because he be going off on these kids, man. They be like, yo, bing bong. So yeah, that's I remember I told y'all that Randy was my son. Well, this is why, because he says stuff like this. You know what? You shut your mouth when you talk to me. Anyways, man, we're so excited. Chris Jakey is he's up in here as well. Good evening from Robert Shaw. So anyways, all right, let's jump into this thing called the Hoof Live. It's been 2 weeks since we've been in here. Last week we had some difficulties. I had a good friend of mine pass away, so we just kind of hit the pause button and the holidays and so forth. So we're back at it. It's good to see your faces. Anthony, what's good? And Eric, what's good, man? How you doing? How was Christmas? How are you guys?
We discussed this a little while ago. I had 5 Christmases.
Ooh.
Divorced parents on both sides, and a little get together with the wife's sisters. So, yeah, I'm Christmas out, man.
I thought 2 was enough for me. My family and Kathy's family. We went to my family Christmas Eve, her family Christmas Day, and stayed down in Ithaca for a few days. And our families are polar opposites, so it's so fun to have that dynamic. You get a little bit of all energy all the time, and then nice and relaxing and more chill. So it's a lot of fun to see that dynamics, and then go back to our own home and our own lives. And obviously it was Logan's first Christmas, so that was super exciting. He's not quite opening the gifts yet, but he loved the ball. Simplest thing, right? That's his favorite toy, the unwrapped ball under the tree, and it's the best thing probably that he'll ever get. 15 years he's going to ask me, what was my favorite Christmas gift ever? And I'm going to say, this ball you got on your first Christmas. He was just so happy. That made it a lot of fun. Everybody knows I don't like Christmas. I'm a Grinch. But, having Logan, it did make it more fun and enjoyable and certainly brought a smile to my face. So that was
nice.
I'm happy that he actually likes the ball because we know you're not a hooper or a baller at anything. No. So y'all need one in the family.
Baseball, tennis. No. I'm hoping Kathy doesn't want him to play football. I'm like, hey, if he wants to play football, I want him to play football if he wants to.
You're not real tall either, so make sure he's kicking the ball.
Hey, you don't know. Soccer. I don't like soccer. That's the only one I don't want him to play.
It's all about the long-term investment, right? That's awesome. I'm glad you guys enjoyed your time. Me and Leo, we just hung out, man. You know what was open on Christmas Day? Because I didn't do any cooking. Chinese food. Dude, we went and got Chinese food, and you know what? That sesame chicken that tender panda was delicious. Okay, it was delicious on Christmas Day, and they were happy to serve. You give a good tip, right?
Christmas story style, right? That's
so yeah, it was fantastic. It was low key, and we didn't do too much. It was just me and the kid, and that's all I needed. We're straight. So anyways, with all that out the way, let's shall we do this? So again, if you guys are new to the show, we kind of do things a little bit different around here, but we do it in segments. And the first segment is called What's Poppin'. These are the topics that I curate and pick out myself. My guys do not know what we're going to talk about prior to seeing this. And so I kind of throw some stuff up there around the NFL, not Bills related. We kind of talk about it. We kind of see what's going on. So this is a segment called What's Poppin'. So fellas, are y'all ready for this? So first topic of the night. All right, first topic of the night. We got to talk about it. It's a thing. COVID cases increasing, affecting teams. Carson Wentz is the latest. Now, with that being said, again, it's obvious we're seeing COVID cases become. It has been all season, but we're seeing an uptick in cases. No matter where you are on the political side of COVID, I just want to say that we're starting to see it affect the Buffalo Bills. We're starting to see it affect other teams around the league, and not just in the NFL, but in all major sports. It may affect you in your workplace. We're seeing all these cases kind of go up in numbers, and the NFL does have a protocol, but they made changes to that tonight, and I wanted to show you before I get your opinions on this, fellas. This is a tweet from Adam Schefter today. It says the NFL and NFLPA are getting close to adopting the new CDC guidelines that will reduce the quarantine time to 5 days from 10 for all players, including those who are unvaccinated. That is huge. Agreement could be done shortly. And just to update you guys, the agreement is completed.
Yes.
So Anthony, you're the resident doctor. Talk to me. Spit some game right now.
Definitely, as you said, the biggest thing, there's a huge uptick in positive tests right now, and the biggest factor in that is the new Omicron variant of COVID. This is highly contagious, even more so than the other variants we've seen, more so than Delta. The good news is that it seems to be less likely to put you in the hospital, or the side effects, at least for vaccinated people especially, are more like minor cold symptoms than anything more dangerous. But you do test positive and you do have the virus, and you can still spread it to other people, which is why it's still important to stay at home and quarantine for a period of time. The good thing is also with this new protocol, this new rule, the CDC is saying instead of a 10-day mandatory quarantine, this is the very key part, right? So there was, okay, you test positive on this day, you have a 10-day mandatory quarantine. Then if you're negative, you can leave, right? So now it's going to be a 5-day mandatory quarantine. You still have to test negative for the virus. You can't still have virus in your system because you would still spread it to other people if you're out on the field. But what the CDC is saying is 5 days should be enough for it to clear your system now. And you should be, yes, right, exactly. You still have to have those negative tests in order to play. The good thing for the NFL is if you're a vaccinated player and you test positive, or if you were just quarantined because you were a close contact, you should have no problem if that happens on a Tuesday, still being able to play your game on Sunday, right? You can clear the protocol, take your negative test, and get to the game on Sunday. Whereas if it were a 10-day period, you're automatically missing a game no matter which day of the week it was, and maybe even 2 games like we're seeing in the cases like on the Buffalo Bills. So those unvaccinated players still have to quarantine for 5 days, but the big thing is it doesn't mean you're automatically back on day 6. It means you have to have those negative test results and then come back. But this is good both for the country as a whole, for employees who are quarantined, and obviously for the NFL and players. And we really, it's tough. We're going to do the 5 for 5 segment later. I talked about it last week in my tweet that COVID certainly has a drastic effect on betting in the NFL and which teams are there. And you don't want to see it affect the competitive nature of the games, meaning that all the star players are out for one team and the other team has a huge advantage if their players are healthy. But that's the nature of the beast we're dealing with in the world as a whole right now. And it is having a little bit of impact on the NFL at this point in that case. But this 5-day thing hopefully will help clear that up a little bit.
Had no impact on the Bills.
It's certainly not on the field.
McKenzie comes in, steps up, 0 impact. Let me ask you this, though. Would Cole Beasley be able to play with these new rules?
Certainly he's been quarantined
he
long
would have
enough.
Been able to play in the last game?
It depends on if he tests negative. So when did he test positive? I think it was a Tuesday. Technically by Saturday, he could have been tested negative twice and he would have been playing on Sunday. Yes. With these new rules. However, because he is unvaccinated, there is concern that, the whole vaccine, it's shorter lived, less symptoms. If you're unvaccinated, you probably carry a higher viral load for a longer period of time. You may feel better after 5 days, but you still have the virus in your system. You can still spread it. Therefore, you would test positive still and not be cleared. But my guess is that he would be able to play maybe by this coming Sunday with that positive test, whereas we were already expecting he would have had to miss both games just under the mandatory quarantine.
That's definitely a word I've never used, viral load.
Yes, the amount of virus.
I was
At least
the
not
amount
in a
of
good way.
The amount of virus in your system that you're producing that you can spread through your breath or your spit or whatever you want to say, your viral particles
load.
that you're putting out into the load.
You know what? I might keep that.
We
though. I
need-
might keep that.
We need to add
Scientific
that.
term, yeah.
We need to add viral load to the things you don't say.
Yeah.
Right? It's up
Yeah.
there with the C word. Things you don't say. Viral load. It just sounds awful.
Yeah.
It sounds.
It is
awful.
a bad thing. So
Yeah.
it's as bad as it sounds, for sure.
Give me COVID. I don't want a viral load.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so that means that Cole Beasley could potentially play. Cole Beasley did say that it wasn't the virus that kept him out of the game. It was
Just to address that quickly, the NFL did come down hard on him for that. And that, again, the whole point is it doesn't matter how good you're feeling. You have the virus in your system. You are capable of giving it to other people on the NFL field. They don't want you there. You cannot be on the field if you have the virus and can spread it, right? That makes perfect sense to anybody, no matter what your vaccine, opinion.
Eric, closing thoughts on that.
I mean, I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about COVID, but the new rules, when you break it down, Anthony, I think it does make sense, right? If you test negative after 5 days, you should be able to play, right? In my opinion, and you would know more about if it's contagious or not. But I like that it gives players a higher chance of playing,
right?
But I think when people read the headlines, they're certainly going to think that it's just negligence and the NFL just cares about players getting on the field faster. And I don't think that's the case when I hear you break it down. So,
yeah, well, it's a CDC too. So it's not just the NFL.
Right.
It's now national protocol.
Right. So that makes more sense. But when it impacts players, especially quarterbacks like Carson Wentz, COVID has a huge impact on the game when you think about it like that. Like the Colts, I think these are must-win games for them. I mean, there's I think a small chance they don't make the playoffs. I think that's like 90% they're in, but there's still that 10%. You don't want to be losing your quarterback right now. Like if the Bills lost Josh Allen to COVID right now, everyone, knock on wood, that would be a huge blow to the team.
Yeah, especially going into the playoffs, right?
Why would you even say that? We don't even want to talk about that
especially
right
going into the playoffs. We really hope that this new 5-day rule, just again, overall competitiveness in the NFL. You don't want the Packers to lose because Aaron Rodgers tested positive in the playoffs to an inferior team, right? You would rather them win. I'm using the NFC as an example, so it's not the AFC. But yeah, I mean, same thing in the AFC. I want to play the Ravens if they make it at their best with Lamar Jackson, not with their third string quarterback because of COVID, right? I want to beat them. I know we are capable of beating them. I want to beat them and not let them have, some excuse of this player wasn't there. So the Patriots certainly didn't have that this week. So
yeah. Well, it's interesting. Look, I just want our players to play. I want our players on the field. I want the best players on the field at all times, regardless of what team they're on. So I think everybody's over COVID, but it is one of the big topics in the NFL, and we have to talk about it. It's been there all season, and we've tried not to talk about it this season on our show, and this is just one of those times where we've seen it affect the Bills. Gabriel Davis, Star Latule has personal reasons. We don't know what that is. I'm not saying it's COVID. We don't know, but we're seeing things kind of pop up in our season that we have to talk about, and COVID's one of them. So we're going to keep it moving now. But make sure, if you haven't already, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the Hoof Live, the Hoof Podcast, and Cover One Network. If you haven't done so, man, I want to see a small amount of likes in here. I don't like that. I need more likes in here. So let's keep it moving. This was funny to me. The NFL is a
we do have a super
love,
chat.
right?
We do have a super chat before you move on. I didn't want to miss it. So yeah, we got a super chat out there.
So
from Rick Beam.
Yeah, he says
Rick Beam is always right.
Rick James is always saying. So we didn't talk about how bad Allen is at quarterback sneaks, and that Diggs and Allen are not on the same page. More than we would like. Jackson should have had an INT. Okay. So Rick Beam. So listen,
hacking it in here, Rick Beam.
There's things. Look, there's things that aren't that are out there that aren't necessarily that we shouldn't partake in too much of. Alcohol, drugs. Your comment here. I do appreciate your support on the show, but this is not a topic. This is not I don't care if Allen is good or bad at quarterback sneaks. Matter of fact, we could talk about in the game. He had a little rollout that got us a first down and sealed the game. So I don't know if I agree with this. And Diggs and Allen are not on the same page. What? Diggs has over 1,000 yards receiving this year. I don't.
I can sense some sarcasm here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of sarcasm.
Yeah.
So I think you're funny.
Well,
You're
I mean,
hilarious.
The Bills on fourth down were 3 for 4. They could have had that other one, right?
Yeah,
so
they missed
I
one.
mean, Josh Allen could be better. Like, he could be better.
How
but,
dare he miss one? Now he's not on the cover of Madden next year.
Yeah.
All right. No, I don't even care if you know what? Because John Madden. Listen, John Madden is a legend in of itself. The game itself is trash, and they used a good man's name for a terrible product that we all play. That's just absolute trash. Don't want to get into how bad Madden has been in years. But thank you for the super chat, and rest in peace to John Madden and all those who have lost loved ones over the holidays and this year. It's been a crazy year. But
they just came out with that. How crazy is it that was it ESPN who did the Madden special? They were talking about all the Madden games and how they came about.
Tonight. It's on right now.
It's tonight. Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah, and he just passed away.
Yeah, he's been sick. So and it just death is undefeated.
Did you watch the Madden documentary yet?
No, I didn't.
I won't watch it till later. But I don't want to hear anything about John Madden football from EA Sports. Okay, we can kibosh that, but John Madden, the person and what he actually did and his coaching and all that.
The voice of football growing up. Yeah, I mean, that's
broadcasting, legendary head coach, legendary sports broadcaster. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's nuts. But anyways, so let's keep moving. So the Houston Texans beat the Chargers and ruined all of your parlays this weekend.
Yes.
Ruined mine. Ruined 2 of mine. 41-29. Davis Mills, 21 of 27, 254 and 2 touchdowns. Rex mother effing Burkhead, 22 carries. Listen, y'all hear this? 22 carries, 149 yards.
Yeah.
Rex Burkhead. Who thought that? Is he still in the league? Apparently so, because he had a game. He had himself a game against the Chargers, the LA Chargers, not San Diego. I always say San Diego. You're old head when you can only say San Diego.
Yeah, this one certainly
the LA Chargers
certainly ruined my parlay for sure this week, my 5 for 5. But a shocker for the Chargers. But isn't this what the Chargers do? Seems year after year, it's like, oh man, they're in control. Everybody's picking them this week. They've got this team they should definitely beat, and they look embarrassing and end up losing to this way inferior team. And this is no different. It's like, okay, different coach, different year. New season, your young QB looks great, and all of a sudden you crap the bed once again when your life is on the line to get to the playoffs. So this is a huge step back for the Chargers, not just on this game, but I think morally, like their morale is down now. They're really stuck in a hole, putting themselves back by losing to this inferior team. And quite the embarrassment. As the score was coming across, I'm like, there's no way that's right. But we got to give some credit to the Texans as well. Rex Burkhead coming off the bench. I guess he had fresh legs, not playing all season, right? And then, Davis Mills playing a pretty good game, enough to do what you got to do to win, almost 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, that's pretty darn good. And my guy, Brevin Jordan from the draft, the last, I think, 3 or 4 games, he's had like 4 touchdowns in those games. So he's really coming on. I'm excited to see that because everybody knows how high I was on him coming into the NFL. But I mean, you got to give the Texans credit. They played pretty well, but it's mostly just it'll go down as an embarrassment for the Chargers.
Any given Sunday. I know Herbert had a pick 6 in this game.
Yeah, he did. I think that was on a route that was, miscommunication on the route from what I saw. But the Chargers did his cheeks, my boy says.
Yeah. It's surprising too. I thought with Derwin James back this year, I was pretty high on the Chargers. We were all high on Justin Herbert, but I mean, they're still in it right now. Though Miami takes the 7 seed, and the Chargers are out of it with this loss. They play it's at LA, but they play Denver next week, and then the Raiders in Las Vegas. So that's 2 division games coming up to decide their fate, right?
Yeah,
the 7 seed is kind of growing on me because there's a lot of different scenarios, right? It makes it a lot more fun, I think. And I wasn't anticipating that when this new playoffs format came out. So, I mean, more games matter. I think that's more fun.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The NFL has been nuts this year in terms of wins, losses, and underdog teams putting up a fight and beating good teams. We could talk about the Bills and the Jaguars is another. If you don't come with your best stuff, you could be the laughing stock of the league. And the Chargers, I mean, Anthony, you said something that was so good that we expected the Chargers to be so good, right? They've a darling, and on paper their roster looks really, really good. Justin Herbert. I mean, it's just that you don't come with your best stuff, man. You're gonna be sitting down, looking crazy. And the Texans, man, David Culley, David freaking Culley as your coach. Urban Meyer.
I never thought he'd last the year. So.
He outlasted Urban Meyer.
Yeah, he did. That's pretty impressive. Not surprising.
The Bills. So, yeah, it's just a crazy year this year, guys. So, yeah, let's get a shout out to the Texans. Tyrod Taylor didn't play in this game. I don't know. He's whatever.
Who?
Did you say who?
Yeah, who's Tyrod Taylor?
Man, Tyrod Taylor, the OG. The drought killer, Tyrod Taylor. I'm drinking my 19 crimes in honor of the Houston Texans beating the Chargers. I mean, I'd be drinking my 19 crimes on the show anyway, but it travels well. So anyway, let's keep it moving on the show here. The Bengals are the best team in the AFC North. They not only did they beat the Ravens,
yeah,
they took those boys out to the shed and just destroyed them for the second time this year. The Bengals are the best team in the North, the AFC North. We know who the best team in the North is. Y'all already know. But the Cincinnati Bungles, okay, they ain't the Bungles no more. They're the Bengals. Look, Higgins, Jamar Chase, they good. Joe Burrow. Now, somebody said, Dan Orlovsky, man, he was trying to say that Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen. Get out of here with that.
No,
Get
he
out
did
of
not.
here with that, bro.
Where did he say that?
Bro, yeah, dude. He's saying that.
Get the heck out of here.
Right?
I did not see that, but that is
I like Dan Orlovsky, but I don't agree with that.
I do too. That's really bad. It's a really bad take there. He must have been one of those people who had Josh Allen low in the draft and had him Joe Burrow way up. So
I'm not going to say Joe Burrow's better than Josh Allen, but I think Joe Burrow he's going to be a franchise guy for sure.
Oh, definitely.
He already is.
I don't think it's talked about enough, though. I mean, obviously it will be now, but like mid-season, coming into the season, I don't think a lot of people were really high on Joe Burrow.
He certainly had his inconsistencies this year, too, though. Right, they win and lose on his back. Sometimes he has 100 yards and 3 interceptions, and they get crushed.
This team's one of the most surprising teams this year.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Gotta give him that credit.
Zach Taylor. I mean, I wasn't high on him, right? So I mean,
tough
they're
division.
Really young, very young, tough division. But I mean, you listen. If you don't believe in Joe Burrow, you need to listen to like a Mic'd Up or something. The guy's he's full of confidence, right?
Do a lot on the field. I love him. He's got a great personality.
I think he's going to be fine in the league as long as he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
But in this division, I think the most surprising thing that I would say is that the Bengals are the team that wanted it the most. If you watch these teams play, the Browns, the people in the preseason, most people picked either the Browns or the Ravens to win the division, maybe the Steelers to make it as a playoff team. Everybody overlooked the Bengals. And if you look at this division now and watch all of their games, there's no team in that division playing with more heart, with more game. They're coming to play every single week because they want it more than the Browns, more than the Ravens, more than the Steelers. Those other 3 teams thought they were entitled to it, and the Bengals showed up and said, no, the F you're not. We are going to take it because it's ours, and that's exactly what's happening. And that it's sad, kind of, if you're a fan of the Ravens or the Browns or even the Steelers The Steelers have kind of impressed me at least more than the other two, but you're embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. If you're a Ravens fan or a Browns fan, this was your division, and you got to take it away from you because you weren't good enough to hold it.
It's still up for grabs. I mean, the Bengals are 9-6. They're 9-6.
They're going to win it, though.
I think Baltimore's right behind them at
there's a lot of division games there.
Pittsburgh 7-7-1. Cleveland 7-8.
The Ravens have an excuse.
The thing is, the Bengals play Kansas City next week in Cincinnati, and then they're at Cleveland. The Ravens have the Rams at home, and then the Steelers at home. So I mean, if Cincinnati drops the game,
I think they all lose. Then the
Bengals are in the driver's seat, but it's not insane to say the Bengals lose the next two.
Yeah, well, it's not, but I think they all go 1-1, and the Bengals are going to win the division. That's what I think happens ultimately.
So here are the standings as of right now. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the Chiefs are 11-4. They got the number 1 seed, right? And the Bills are ranked number 4 in the conference. Bengals are number 3, and the Bills are only 2 games out of the lead and they own a tiebreaker against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I thought that the Titans were going to lose last week. I really did. I thought they were going to lose, and they pulled it out. Crazy game. But hey, look at is that the Patriots I see in 9-6 and the Bills are above them?
How about Miami? We talk about that.
Yeah, Miami playing really well. I loved it. That was one of my 5 for 5 picks too.
What did they start 1-6, 1-5, something like that? And they're now 8-7 in the 7th seed right now.
They've won 7
the Dolphins, man. Waddle, that boy's balling out.
My favorite receiver in the draft. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Waddle has been balling out. Tua Tagovailoa. He's playing well. They're getting it done. The defense is playing well. Hey, you got to give it's.
You know why? Because they're not playing the Buffalo Bills. Look at the teams they're playing. They're
you got a point there.
They're better than.
Daddy's home.
In their win streak.
They're better than. I have not seen them beat a team that's better than them yet.
In their win streak, they beat the Texans, the Ravens, Jets, Panthers, Giants, Jets, Saints, Titans. The Titans are this week. They haven't beat them yet, but Saints. They have the Titans and the Patriots remaining.
2 tough games. They got to win them, though. Now we're all
on your schedule. It's on your schedule. You got to go out there and play, and they're winning the game. So I give them all the credit. If the playoffs started today, we would have 3 teams from the AFC East represented in the playoffs. That's insane.
Yep. Then the world's gonna end.
That's insane. Right. Right. So speaking of the world ending, man, what's the temperature in the room, baby? The Bills just destroyed the Patriots. Yo, listen, wasn't it great?
That was great. That was a great game. Legendary game.
This is why we're here tonight. This is why we're here. Oh, my gosh. Look, man. Were you nervous? Because we didn't get to talk about it.
We're nervous.
I wasn't nervous.
No,
I wasn't. No,
I was.
Eric, you are
this week. From the day the last game ended against them, I said this is the game that is still, if it's not 80-mile-per-hour winds and stupid game plan and trying to play against the wind, there's no way they would have beat us then. They did not beat us now. Why? Because the Bills are the better team in every way, shape, and form. Just as I had said that past week before we knew it was going to be 50-mile-an-hour winds, because our show is unfortunately
except for run game.
Yeah, well, the run game didn't work. How many points did we give up in that game? 14, for God's sake. Come on. I mean, it's stupid to say, oh, we gave up 200 yards. Was that bad? Yes. Yes, that was bad. But was it indicative that we are somehow this horrible team that can never stop the run? No, that statement has never been true. That's something the media says because they look at it on paper and they don't watch the games and see what's actually happening. That happened in one game. Yes. Was it bad? Definitely. Was it horrible? Certainly. Embarrassing. You could say that. But the problem here is now you've got to move forward. And we did. And I could not wait for this game because I knew from the second it happened that we were going to dominate them, that we were going to embarrass their quarterback, who everybody was praising. And I could not wait to get our hands on because, I mean, he couldn't even complete a pass, right? Even when there were guys open, he's throwing the ball. I'm like, damn, is he really that bad? Mac Jones is worse than I thought. And I thought he was just average, So He looked pretty bad in this game, and we had 2 interceptions.
Peep this right here.
One of them was
Mark Robbins says the Dolphins lost 7 straight and won 7 straight in the same season.
The first time that's
ain't
ever happened.
Ain't that like a relationship with your girl? They just don't know what they want, man. Ever. Do they ever? Babe, what you want to do? I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
That's so true.
Right? They're happy one minute, mad the next. Like y'all already know what it is, man. But yeah, that's the Dolphins, man. Daddy's been home. He left, right, for the year. Daddy's gone to work, and the Dolphins now they're trying to. Stella got her groove back. That's what the Dolphins are, man. It's fun. But three teams in the AFC East going to be representing the playoffs if the season were to end today. The Chargers, Justin Herbert got a Pro Bowl nod over Josh Allen, whatever. Lamar Jackson got a Pro Bowl nod, and I don't care about the Pro Bowl because we didn't get it. Like I said, we didn't have a show last week. But listen,
that happened after Tuesday. But yeah, that was
Lamar Jackson, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here with that, man.
Josh Allen's literally better in every statistical category than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Per game, too, because Lamar Jackson has missed a few games. Do the per game stat. Josh Allen is still better. And yeah, I don't understand that at all. It's just stupid. It's more Bills hate from the people who vote and make these decisions.
Yeah, it's dumb. We had to touch on it.
As much as people always want to say, oh, we're better than that now. The media doesn't really hate the Bills. Yeah, right. This is still happening. Show the stats to anybody, and nobody in the freaking world would pick Lamar Jackson over Josh Allen right now. Nobody. But why did they? Because there is hate against the Bills still because of where they are, because we're still one of the smallest markets in the NFL, because we're this horrible franchise for a long time. They need to put some respect on our guy's name. Jordan Poyer.
Let me do it.
There you go.
Josh Allen's 2 touchdowns in the first half gave him 100 for his career. He's the first player in NFL history with 100 pass touchdowns and 20 rush touchdowns in the first 4 seasons. Josh Allen had himself a day against the Pats. Did y'all know? I mean, we saw it. The Bills didn't punt one time. Not one time.
Yeah.
I mean, they were moving the ball up and down the field with ease. And this is Josh Allen's best game of the season. And one of the things I really appreciate about Josh Allen's game is that he was dealing. He took the small stuff. Like he took the, it was like and y'all gonna hate this, but it was like Tom Brady in a souped up, like he was Tom Brady-esque this Sunday. Like
Tom Brady never had an arm like that.
No.
No.
Tom Brady couldn't make those throws.
We're not talking about physically, not physically, but what he was able to do with his decision making. Because that's one of the knocks on Allen this year, that we want to see him. Like he doesn't always have to go for the big play, and he just he was content. We saw they play in this unders coverage, cover 2. They had these. They were like, oh, we're not gonna let you. The intermediate to deep. We're not gonna let you have that. Josh like, cool. I'll just throw it to Devin. I don't care. I'll throw it short here. I'll throw it short there. Oh, Cole Beasley is not here. Gabriel Davis is not here. Isaiah McKenzie. I'll just throw it to you. Like he just took what the defense gave him. And that's what we needed Josh Allen to do all season. And if we can get this performance out of Josh Allen against that team, now we know the Patriots are no slouch when it comes to defense. Coach
the number
the best
one
defensive
defense
mind that ever lived. The number 1 defense.
Yeah.
Josh Allen and these boys came in and they were dealing. Eric, what you got to say about that?
The thing with Josh Allen, though, is when he's on, he's really on. Nobody's better than him. Maybe Aaron Rodgers, if you want to argue that, but that's the only guy in the league who's better than Josh Allen when he's hot like that. And he was on fire in this game. Could not miss. I mean, I've never seen a quarterback makes some of those types of plays that Josh Allen made on Sunday. Look, the Patriots defense is solid. They're in position, but Josh Allen just makes an amazing throw or an amazing play with his legs or his arm. And there's nothing you can do about that in the NFL, right? Teams that played the Chiefs, they fall into that position. There's nothing you can do when Pat Mahomes is on like that. There's nothing you can do when Aaron Rodgers is hot like that. This is Josh Allen's best game of the year so far. I mean, he's had higher passer ratings and things like that, but when it matters most in New England against a really good defense, it's Josh Allen's best game of the year.
Oh yeah.
And this is Josh Allen he's a hot and cold guy. We've always said that, right? But when he's hot, no one's better than him.
Yeah. Talk about threading the needle. I mean, he just put the ball on the money. And it wasn't just passing. He also made the play. He made stuff happen. He was stopped dead to rights on 4th down twice and still made it 5 extra yards past the first down marker because he just made a move and made it happen. When the ball is in his hands, he makes the magic happen. And yeah, we've seen him make stupid decisions in the past and, fumble or whatever, but when he's on, like you said, he's the best quarterback in the NFL, period, full stop. Even Aaron Rodgers can't do the things that Josh Allen can do.
That's a fair argument because when Josh Allen's hot like he was on Sunday, the things he can do with his legs, Aaron Rodgers can't do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could argue Mahomes can, but he can't. There's no way Aaron Rodgers can juke 2 defenders who are in position and run up a guy over.
No, but you guys are trying to say like Aaron Rodgers is immobile, and that's not the case.
No, but he's mobile. He's not Josh Allen.
But he's not Josh Allen.
Got it.
Right?
Lamar Jackson.
Josh Allen's one.
Lamar Jackson couldn't do that. He's the best running quarterback.
Now, Lamar Jackson could run. He could
can't
juke those guys.
2 guys and make 5 extra yards.
Yes, he can. But he can't throw like that.
2 guys on him. He can't do that.
Oh my! I was like, Anthony, stop it! Stop the slander. Okay?
Lamar Jackson would not have gotten the 5 extra yards.
Josh Allen's arsenal between his legs and his playmaking ability and his arm. No one's better than him when he's hot like that. That's a fair argument.
Josh Allen, look, that bootleg was something special. I mean, listen, for that boy, he did like a pirouette, man. He did like a pirouette, and your boy, who was that? Duggar? Was that Duggar that tackled his own guy? He hit his own man.
Like Josh Allen made him run into each other.
How you gonna be in the film room this week? In the film room this week, they're gonna be like, that's not you missed. You missed your guy, right? And your boy Judon's like, bro, like, you just gonna hit me like that or what? Like, I thought we were boys. Like, but Josh Allen's just that good. Like, listen.
But realistically,
go look at the stats. Go look at the stats from Josh Allen playing Bill Belichick's defenses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
saying,
no
answers for a guy like that.
I'm just saying, Josh Allen might be the Patriots' daddy. I'm just saying, if we did a paternal test with the Dolphins and the Patriots, it might come back and say, you're not the father of the Patriots, or you might be both their daddies now. Like, it's getting that close, man. It's getting that close. My boy Josh Allen's dealing, but let's bring it back in though. You gotta love the fact that Josh Allen was able to dissect the Patriots defense from just taking the quick out. He was getting rid of the ball with such precision on time. He was in rhythm. The offense was in rhythm. Like, we talk about Brian Dable and, they need to do this, they need to do that. But when Josh Allen, he doesn't need to like scramble and make a play all the time. Like, he just needs to get the ball out. And you know what's something that we're starting to see? We're starting to see run after catch, rack yards from these receivers in this offense. And that's something that we have not seen since Josh Allen has been the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills in 4 years. This offense is designed it doesn't lend itself to creating yards after catch, right? So the way these routes are constructed, that our offense is not that. But when he gets the ball out that quick, this offense can make plays, and we're starting to see that.
Yeah, and shout out to the offensive line for looking. I mean, by far the best game from the offensive line this week, for sure, for me anyway. They just clicked. Ryan Bates. I mean, is he the answer here? I mean,
he's injured.
That's what I mean.
Oh, that's Ike Bakker's injured.
Ike Bakker was injured. Ryan Bates came in, and the offensive line clicked, and it looked really good. You'd think, as many of the struggles as we've had, another guy goes down on the offensive line, and we're all wincing like, oh, shoot, here we go again. But look what happens. They put him in, and all of a sudden, bam, the offensive line looks the best it's ever looked all season. And Josh Allen is the most efficient he's been all season. Those two things are linked together. Josh Allen has been able this season to do it by himself with zero offensive line, with nobody standing there because they sucked. And Josh Allen was still able to do what he does. But with an offensive line, he reaches that next level, even with just 1 or 2 slim more seconds. And that's all he needs to either decide, all right, especially against a good defense like the Patriots, everybody's covered. Fine, I'll run for 6 yards or whatever I need to do. Get a first down. Okay, you're going to double cover my best receiver, Stephon Diggs. My 2 receivers other than that are out. All right, I'm going to throw this pass here. The Bills scored 33 points. They should have scored 50 in reality. We had a couple of dropped touchdowns, bad calls in the red zone on 4th down, a couple of field goals we settled for in the red zone. They should have scored 50 easily in this game because the offense was clicking that well. So there are things they need to clean up a little bit. Man, those red zone field goals irk me more than anything. I tweeted about it during the game. Like, you cannot beat good teams in the playoffs by kicking field goals when you're on the 10-yard line. You have to get that ball in the end zone every single time, not 2 out of 4 times, not 4 out of 5 times, every single time, because those good teams that are in the playoffs are going to be able to do that and match you. So you've got to be able to get it.
Bills were 4 for 7 in the red zone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Patriots were 3 for 3.
1 was a turnover on downs, 2 were field goals. Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, they have look and it's execution because he hit Sanders wide open.
Wide open. Yeah, that wasn't
you gotta get that.
Catch it.
Yeah. He had one to Sweeney to Kumaro that Josh Allen just didn't throw. He missed that.
You gotta catch that.
They gotta clean that up. But red zone has been an issue all season long.
Yes.
But you're right. They do need to capitalize on those.
That was
drives.
the play call of the year, though. By the way.
No, it was beautiful.
The most wide open a Bills player's been all year.
Nobody was on him. I thought for sure it was touchdown. I was like,
great play call there.
Rarely does Josh Allen.
The ball should have been out a lot sooner. On that play, it should have been out a lot sooner.
He could have literally punted it to Kumra. He just shot it, rainbowed it up. There was nobody there, but he lasered it and he missed it.
Well, the story of the game, in my opinion, is Bills defense stepped up. The Patriots were 1 for 10 on 3rd down. That's the story of this game.
That's awesome.
And they still scored 22 points.
But Mac Jones is Jesus. Come on, he walked on water coming into this game. You didn't see that? Mac Jones is the second coming of Tom Brady.
Oh, Mac Jones don't scare me. It's the running game and then maybe the one-off throws, right? It's more the tight ends. Hunter Henry
had one
Smith.
catch.
I mean, they're good players.
One catch.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're good run blocking tight ends. They got good run blocking receivers. N'Keal Harry, he can't catch worth a damn, but. I mean, they're a run team. I mean, their run concepts are pretty complex. You could see it in the replays.
When you have that big of an offensive line, their offensive line is massive. These guys are huge. They're athletic. They can move. And when you have a Bills defensive line they're small, quicker defenders, right? So there's a size advantage there. So the fact that the Bills are able to be disciplined and have gap discipline when in the run game. Now, I know that they gave up a 100-yard rusher, but they controlled the game. And this is a defense that is a bend, don't break defense. They want to, they're going to give you whatever between the 20s, right? But when you get in the red zone, that's where this defense really does shine. And, this defense has been playing stellar all season long. They have been. And we got to give them credit. So, Eric, I do agree with what you're saying about the defense and their performance there. Tremaine Edmonds, what a solid performance from Tremaine Edmonds, man. 7 tackles, and Matt Milano. The reason why the Patriots tight ends are ineffective is because Matt freaking Milano was there. He was cleaning up everything. I mean, his discipline and pass coverage and what he's able to do, and Leslie Frazier, how they are able to take a simple concept from defense, but they disguise what they're doing and their looks pre-snap, right? And then when after the snap, they completely change into something else. I mean, we have to give credit to Matt Milano because he erased Hunter Henry and what's his name? The other guy. It's blanking me right now.
Stevenson?
No, the other tight end.
Oh, Jonnu Smith?
Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith didn't do nothing in this
He didn't
game.
really show up, but it was really Hunter Henry was out there for most of the
snaps.
He couldn't. He had one catch, one. So and it was late. It was like the 4th quarter. So, that tells you that the coverage was there. And yes, that's Matt Milano all day.
Ed Oliver. We need to talk about my boy Ed Oliver in here because I know he got a sack, but between him and Harrison Phillips applying pressure, I'm not a pressure kind of guy. I would rather sacks that impact plays, but pressures, they do impact plays. And, Harrison Phillips and I think we have a solution. I would start Harrison Phillips over Star Latulele right now. Just
trending upward.
Star has been unavailable, a lot this season. to whoever's excuse or whatever's going on. The fact of the matter is you're not on the field, right? And so your availability is your what, fellas? Best ability, right? And if you're not there, I don't know what we could do with you, man. So, but Harrison Phillips stepping up. You know what's always interesting is that the guys step up in their contract seasons, right? Like, man, can you just do that like when you don't have a contract coming up? But I don't think it's going to cost much at all to re-sign Harrison Phillips. But the fact of the matter is the Bills do need to get better production from their one-tech defensive tackle. So that's obviously we're going to be talking about that as we get into the offseason talk. But right now, let's just give some shout out. Micah Hyde, 2 interceptions, man. You know, the both of these safeties have 5 interceptions for the season. That's tops in the league. And neither one of these guys are a first ballot Pro Bowler, which is stupid. We talked about the Pro Bowl early in the show. That's mad disrespect, but you know what?
Hey, they need that chip on the shoulder.
That's what I was just going to say.
Team is.
Yeah, you know what? They're not going to be able to play in the Pro Bowl anyway because they're going to be busy prepping for the Super Bowl. So you can have your Pro Bowl nod. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, look, if the Bills can play like this for the rest of the season, I think a Super Bowl berth is in order. Yeah. But it's again, can we get that consistency on a regular basis for these next 2 games and then heading into the playoffs? I don't want the Bills to get the number 1 seed, to be honest. I'd rather them have their backs against the wall moving forward. Are you guys of the same?
Well, I mean, it's unlikely that they're going to get the number 1 seed at this point with both Tennessee and Kansas City above them. As you said, if Kansas City loses both games and the Bills win, we would tie them and we have the tiebreaker against them. But if Tennessee even wins 1 more game, they would have 11 wins and we would have 11, and they have the head-to-head tiebreaker over us. So it's unlikely that we would ever get the number 1 seed. So even the 2 or 3 seed, I think that's where we end up landing, and that's perfectly fine with me. You definitely play a home game. That's what I want. We definitely play a home game. That's what matters most. And then you move on from there and say, okay, which opponent do we play next in their house? Is it in Tennessee? I'm okay with that. We know Bills fans show up to that game. So is it in, whatever team, Kansas City, for example? If we end up being the 4 seed and winning and not 2 and 3 both win, then, we would go to Kansas City. That's fine with me too. Let's go. Let's show we beat them already there. We can do it. Let's show how we do it and what we can do. So
it comes down to matchup. Who do you want to play, right? I think having the 2nd seed, 3rd seed, it's more favorable because I'd rather play in Kansas City in the championship game, like you were talking about. This team has a good shot to go to, let's say, Indianapolis or host Indianapolis in the divisional round. I feel better about that than I would traveling to Kansas City or traveling to New England again. I mean, it comes down to matchup. If you get the 2nd seed right now, you would have Miami in Buffalo.
Let's do it, baby. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You would not play Kansas City as a 2 seed. You're not going to play Kansas City in the divisional round.
I'll take that all day.
I mean, you could have Cincinnati come to town if you're the 2 seed. I feel good about that, right?
Yeah, no, you would feel good. And make sure, and take a break real quick. Make sure y'all like, follow, and subscribe to the Hoof Podcast, Hoof Podcast Live on the Cover One Network, man. Listen, when there ain't enough likes in here, y'all like other stuff. Y'all like, I like pig feet, right, from Friday. Yo, like, follow, subscribe, leave a review. If our show sucks, hey, bro, your show sucks. I just want to know and get better. If you say, yo, Anthony he don't never match his clothes, it's like, bro, like, yo, Anthony, like,
looking good tonight,
man. Somebody to help you with your wardrobe. Like, can your wife do it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
hell no.
Hey, if you say, Eric, bro, like, what the hell is that picture behind you, man? Like, get that shit out of here. Just like, follow, subscribe, leave a review. I just want to know what's going on,
What's behind the curtain?
Yeah, right.
Behind the curtain.
Hey, if I show y'all what's behind here, bro, y'all don't even know. Like, look, this is the mobile kit. All right, this is the mobile kit. Sterls is in Michigan. All right, so Michigan. But it's all good, baby. But anyway, Bing Bong, dude, that's my favorite TikTok right now. That shit's funny. Have y'all seen that TikTok, man?
No.
What's TikTok?
I don't have a TikTok.
Y'all so lame, dude.
I don't have a TikTok, man. How old are you again?
Get out of here. I don't care, Nick. Hey, I'm about to be 40. I'm 38, and I'm a young Denzel out here in these streets, bruh. Y'all already know what's up. I'll TikTok till I'm 60, dog. I'll look like this. Look just like this, boy. Anyway, let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. But what does this win signify so much for the Bills community, for us, for the Buffalo Bills players, and the statement it is in the league? You want to be playing your best football right now. Mm-hmm. You want to be playing your best football right now. And what we've seen from the Buffalo Bills in the last, 6-8 quarters has been tremendous. It's been really good. And what we're seeing right now is something that we saw from this team a lot ever since the Arizona Cardinals game last year. We saw them play this brand of football moving forward, but our defense is much improved. So we know that this team can carry that level of success, that level of consistency for weeks in, right? So there is no reason to think that this defense and this offense and this team is going to take a step back, right? So you got 2 games against inferior opponents. Now, if we have guys that need to rest up, I say this is the time you do it. You need to get all your stuff, your ducks in a row, and get ready, because you're gonna be able to host a home game for the playoffs. But after that, you're on the road, right? So you gotta get all your stuff right, get all your ducks in a row, because you're gonna be playing the AFC Championship in Kansas City again. Which give me that again. I think the Bills can go in there and beat the Chiefs if they're playing this level of defense and this level. If Josh Allen could be consistent, I think the Bills can beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
I feel even better.
I don't want to play the Colts.
Tennessee,
I don't want to play the Colts, though. I don't want to play the Colts.
Yeah, that's
okay. 2 teams that you don't want to play. Go.
The Colts are definitely one for me.
The Bengals. No, I think we could beat the Bengals.
I'll take the Bengals.
I think they could beat the Bengals. I say Tennessee.
I think
you don't want to play Tennessee.
No.
I mean, but I think there's other teams out there that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really afraid. I think the only team that scares me in terms of matchups and what they do, just in general, the Colts, because they have the MVP of the league in my mind this year. Why do I call him the MVP of the league, regardless of what Aaron Rodgers or what other QB you want to put in there? Because they run the ball. They have a average at best quarterback, inconsistent, out of his mind quarterback, whatever you want to say about Wentz. But their running back, everybody knows they're running. They did this against the Bills. We know you're running on every single play, and yet you still are able to get it done that way.
Right. It's just there's no good matchup.
That. You can't stop that. It lets them control the clock. It lets them control the game. It lets them score points. There's no counter to that if you can't stop him. And every team that's tried so far, the last few, has not been able to stop him no matter what they do at quarterback.
Right. Bills suck at that.
Has been terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's Colts and Kansas City, just because I think Kansas City's hot right now.
Yes.
Oh no, they're playing.
I think the Bills could go
in the AFC right now.
They could go blow for blow, but I don't want to be in that situation. You could easily go, in my opinion, go to Tennessee. I would feel good about that game the entire time. And the Bills, they've proven they're just as good or better than Tennessee. I think they could win at Tennessee relatively easy compared to Kansas City or Indianapolis. I would play the New England Patriots again.
Oh, absolutely. They suck. They're not even. If the Dolphins win out, the Patriots' playoff hopes are in.
I would feel pretty decent. They seem to be one-dimensional, right? Again, not a strength. For the Bills, but I think if they went to Buffalo, I think
it's a good matchup wise.
Favored.
It's good matchup wise for the
Bills.
What
about Chargers, Raiders could possibly get in still.
The Raiders ain't getting
Baltimore.
We know what they are. We saw that last year. I'd do that again. Sign me up. Every time we played Baltimore, we've been able to shut down Lamar Jackson. So
and then Miami, I guess, is the one we haven't talked about.
I ain't worried about them.
Oh well, we all know how that one ends. Josh Allen owns the Miami Dolphins.
I
think the Bills are in a decent position. I think getting a higher seed and playing in Buffalo puts them in an even better spot, right? I mean, compared to the other teams that are vying for playoff spots, the Bills have probably the easiest schedule.
Yeah, you got the Jets and the Falcons, and in terms of what Anthony would say, the Falcons. Yeah, I mean, you should handle business. Like, this is not, the Bills need to be in playoff mode. And I think since the second half of the Bucs game, they've been in playoff mode. They know that they gotta, if you want to win the division, win the division, you got to go out these next 2 weeks and just ball out. You got to.
Yeah.
You
Well,
got
Tennessee,
to.
let's see. Tennessee's got Miami and then Houston. Who else do we have here? Colts. Colts got the Raiders and Jaguars.
Easy money, bro.
We talked about the Bengals earlier.
Yeah, they have it's competitive down the stretch in the AFC. That's the most exciting thing right now. It's like you said, there's a lot of fighting going on, not just for the 7 seed, but literally the 5, 6, and 7 seed at this point are all up for grabs. Right. So
the Chiefs go to Cincinnati and then Denver. Who else we got? New England. Patriots have the Jaguars and then they're at Miami.
Okay.
I think Miami could pull that one off.
Yeah. And if they do, again, it puts the Patriots' playoff hopes in jeopardy. They might not make the playoffs if they lose to Miami. So, and the other teams that are vying win. Because Miami would then leap New England in the standings and obviously be in line for the 7 seed over them, over New England.
We just do Miami here.
I don't know, man.
Okay, Miami, though, they have the worst at Tennessee and then hosting New England.
Correct. 2 tough games. They have to win.
But Miami beats New England once a year.
Yeah, and they haven't yet. So
didn't they already beat them?
Did they beat them? No.
I don't think so. Did they already?
Because the win streak, we just listed it. No, New England was part of that 7-loss streak.
Yeah, and I think they played.
They haven't beat
the Dolphins beat them by 1 point. Oh, that's preseason.
No,
they lost.
Eric, what are you smoking, bro?
It's just Google, buddy. Okay, because they do the side-by-side. Week 1, Dolphins beat the Patriots by 1 point.
They did.
September 12th.
They should beat them again.
And then they lost to the Bills the following week by 35. Anyway, I digress.
All right, so let's wrap this up because I got stuff to do. My son's waiting on me. I got food to eat.
How you feeling about the Falcons, buddy?
The Falcons? The Falcons? They should kick their ass. That's
the Atlanta Falcons. Yes.
I mean, look, the Falcons are inconsistent. They're heavily inconsistent, but I mean, let's be honest, man. When you look at this roster, you got a Matt Ryan that Josh Rosen's your second quarterback. Cordero Patterson as running back options are pretty good. But their wide receiver core is just Russell Gage and Olamide Zaccheaus. Like, you don't scare me, bro. Kyle Pitts is a dude. Kyle Pitts is a dude now. Yeah. And
Kyle Pitts is going to be on.
They got a 2 tight end. Like,
yeah, I don't know if Atlanta's still doing this, but they were having Kyle Pitts line up in the
wide receiver,
the X.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he'll be on Levi Wallace. That's a mismatch.
Yeah,
it is. That is the one matchup that I'd be watching in this game. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's not can definitely scheme something up to not let those guys go off. Grady Jarrett's a problem. He's a beast.
Yeah, but
their defense in general, though, their defense is where they're vulnerable. I mean, they can't. They're not scoring as many points as they were when they had Julio Jones. That's a huge factor. They used to be, okay, we don't care about defense because we're going to score 40 points a game and the other team has to try and score more than us. Now, without Julio Jones, they've suddenly become a team that's mediocre at scoring points, but their defense still gives up a lot of points. And they haven't played an offense like our offense, as we were just lauding how Josh Allen played against the Patriots. Now he's playing a much inferior team in Buffalo at home. I mean, the Falcons don't know what they're in for coming into this one. Are they going to give it their all? Yes. Do they have a very capable quarterback in Matt Ryan? Absolutely. He could get it done. But, again, if you just look down the stat sheet here, look down the matchups, the Falcons are going to get punched in the mouth in this game. They're just not able to match up with. Defensively, our offense will beat their defense, I think, and that's where they're most vulnerable. Their offense, as we've said, has a few weapons, but going against our defense, which has been one of the top defenses in the NFL, and their offense has not been one of the top offenses, again, that you got to take the Bills' defense there, and I don't see any way that the Falcons break out in this one.
Looks like rain on Sunday, 2 p.m., 80% chance of precipitation.
Participation. They're not showing up unless 30% chance nobody shows up. No, yeah, it might. It's going to be cold and rainy, especially for Atlanta, right? They play in Atlanta and we're in Buffalo outside, and it's going to be hopefully, well, no matter what, the weather is in our favor. That definitely benefits us, right? I mean, when's the last time Atlanta played in Buffalo this late in the season when there's possibly cold weather?
I don't know if they've ever played. I think I heard this on the radio. The last time Atlanta played in Buffalo, they had Mike Vick starting.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So Matt Ryan in Buffalo in the cold.
He's never been to Buffalo.
Exactly. And the crowd, I mean, we know what that's going to be like. It's going to be, the Bills are obviously heavily favored in this one, given the, it's at home. We're the better team. We're a playoff team right now. The Falcons are obviously not. They have, like we said, they have weapons that you need to keep an eye on. Doesn't make them scary to me.
Yeah,
doesn't.
Bad weather does not benefit us.
Yeah, it doesn't. But in this case, it does. Just the weather itself, 38 degrees and a little bit of precipitation has no effect on the Buffalo Bills, as we saw maybe even this New England game. We'll take that weather this Sunday, and that it still benefits the Atlanta Falcons. Coming in are not ready for that. Falcons, by the way, Falcons are not ready for that. So they're going to come in and be at a disadvantage, freezing their butts off.
Right, they're from Georgia.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got to have some kind of, I mean, I wonder if a study's been done on this. Like, do teams play worse in cold weather? It's hard to tell, right? But I think, it does have some sort of impact on the offense at least. You're freezing cold. It's a different kind of cold in Buffalo. And if you're from Georgia, you're really not used to it. Think about it. The division games they play are all in the South. I mean, I don't know if that has any psychological advantage or not, but can they run the ball? I get Mike Davis, Cordell Patterson. I think
that's what they're going to lean on.
They're a decent run team, right? They got 7 wins, I think, or 8 wins.
Again, they're able to. They have the weapons. They just haven't been able to put it together this season. And again, when you're facing, you're not playing the New Orleans Saints or the Carolina Panthers defense. You're facing the Buffalo Bills defense, and we know that our defense is better than those teams in that division over there that they played. So we'll see what happens with that. But there's no doubt that this game favors the Buffalo Bills, that this should be a win for the Buffalo Bills. And I see no reason why it won't be.
Fair.
Sterling, making it back, man. What happened? We lost you.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of nowhere. So the internet is sketch sometimes, but I'm back. So I think you wrap that up, but I think you should be doing your 5 for 5. It's time, man. It's time to let our listeners know how they can get that Birkin for a girl or get that new tool set or whatever y'all like to buy, right? If you need some wings for the weekend, Valentine's Day is coming up. Anthony's one of the top guys in Tally Site in terms of predicting against the spread. Like the dude he be killing it. He's going to show y'all how to win money. How to take the little earnings that we get from our jobs and multiply that. Right, Anthony? That's what you're supposed to do.
That's right. Yeah, that's what we've been doing all season long. So let's go. Let's do it again here. Week 16, as I said, we didn't have the show last week, but I went 2-3, not where we want to be. Always want to be on the winning side, but still, that puts our winning percentage, my winning percentage this year in these picks, up near 63%. Remember that anywhere near 50% is considered good. And so to be at 63 is really good on the season. And I did preface last week when I posted my picks on Twitter saying that, COVID has a huge effect. You have to keep that in mind. I'm doing these picks on a Tuesday. Things may change during the week that will affect these games and these picks. But going into this week, week 17, can you believe it? Week 17, and it's not the end of the season yet. Week 17, and my 5 picks for this week are going to start with the Carolina Panthers plus 7.5 at New Orleans. We just saw New Orleans get their butt beat by Miami, and I think Carolina, even though they might not win this game, they're going to keep it competitive. So I'll take Carolina plus 7.5. My 4th pick of the week is Miami again, plus 3.5 versus Tennessee for pretty much the same reason. I think 3.5 is a close enough line to take Miami with the points, even if they don't win this game. My 3rd bet of the week is the Rams minus 3.5 at Baltimore. The Rams, I think, are the favorite in this one. I believe they're the better team. They should win it by more than 3.5. My 2nd pick of the week is the Kansas City Chiefs -5.5 at Cincinnati. I know what you're thinking. Since he's the hottest team, they just did so well. They just scored all those points. Well, I think they're about to get a wake-up call from the best team in the AFC right now, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'll take the Chiefs -5.5. And my top bet of the week, the Eagles -3 at Washington. So the Eagles coming in hot. We've seen what they've been able to do. Washington kind of trending in the wrong direction at this point. I'll take the Eagles -3 even on the road. So those picks for you again, actually all on the road. I didn't notice that until just now. Carolina +7.5 at New Orleans. Miami +3.5 at Tennessee. The Rams -3.5 at Baltimore. Kansas City -5.5 at Cincy. And the Eagles, my big bet of the week, -3 at Washington. So let's do it again, folks. Let's go 5 for 5. That winning percentage is unbelievable right now, right around 63%. As I said, that's pretty remarkable, even for my expectations coming in. But let's win that money. Keep it going. Make those bets, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so there you have it. There's the 5 for 5 by Anthony Romeo here on the Hoof Podcast Live and Cover One Network. So make sure that you guys like, follow, and subscribe to the show, because we ain't got enough. But we do appreciate all the support that you guys have given us this season so far. The Bills got another W, man, and it was against the Patriots, and so we are excited about that. You know, we got a new year coming up this week. You know, we're turning the page on a new year, man. It's been going so fast, so crazy. But we just want to thank all of you guys for all your support, for tuning in, watching the show. I am at Furrow Sterling on Twitter. We got at Anthony Romeo NY. And at Eric Brown or E Brown Hoof. That's where you can find us on Twitter. Make sure you follow us there. And man, we want to wish you guys a happy new year. And we out of here.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.